be reflected at these tremendously important events, at elections for the government of Singapore. We propose that the voting age in Singapore be lowered to 18 years old. Young people are the future of this country and should have a say in what they want that future to be. By 18, young people today have very clear opinions and ideas on what they want to see in Singapore, how they want to get there, and who they feel will be able to lead them in their direction. In this, we are already behind the times. Most countries around the world lowered their voting age to 18 in the 1970s. Malaysia changed their voting age to 18 this year. This is the 21st century, but Singapore politics is still stuck in the 20th century. We at PSP feel that too many people are being left behind. We can change that, and we must change that. We need to stand together and help our government to see it's not about the money, because you can't pay for passion. I moved from being an investment banker and a management consultant to being a teacher, a counselor, and I love what I do. It's not about the money, and money cannot buy passion. Talking about money, as you know, our highest minister is paid about 43 times an average Singaporean salary. And an entry-level minister earns half of that. So the problem with the $1 million paycheck is it puts our ministers in their ivory towers while the people are left way back here on our little red dot. It makes for the wrong incentives and the wrong statistics. My kids are studying averages for math in school, and even they know that high numbers can skew the average wage or household income in Singapore, and it does not reflect what the majority of people are earning. Thus, the ministers' high salaries raise the average wages and make it look like we as a nation are doing well. It also makes them afraid to take risks, afraid to disagree, and afraid to lose their jobs. They have a lot of fear too. So there is no accountability from the top, and no resigning from their jobs, even when a big mistake is made, one that if it happened in other countries, the minister in charge would have resigned already. Maybe our ministers cannot afford to resign. But I will highlight one minister who did resign 2 years ago because he said it was his dream to start up new venture companies. If more are like him, if there is more movement in and out of politics, we will have a much more progressive Singapore. Dr. Tan Cheng Bock as well is not afraid to resign in order to hold fast to his principles. When instruction came from the top to rename Jurong Hospital to Ng Teng Fong Hospital because the family donated 1/10 of the construction cost, Dr. Tan felt this was not right. He tried to suggest naming the hospital after Ong Teng Cheong instead, our first elected president.
All right.
But somehow the ministers disagreed. But he felt then, as he does now, it should not be about the money, so he stepped down from the board, because you cannot pay for integrity. You cannot pay for passion, you cannot pay for integrity, and you cannot buy courage. Money does not buy character. In fact, the more you pay, the more you discourage these virtues. So what are we paying for? Intelligence? Friends, I went to the Raffles schools, was in the top classes, and I can tell you this. A group of people from different schools all over Singapore, different backgrounds, different experiences, different perspectives, working together, can come up with better ideas than one brilliant person. Now, why is this relevant to our young people? Because when we believe that each of them is valuable, and we invest in them, listen to them, and give them opportunities, then we empower them and give them hope. the feeling that they matter, and the conviction that they can make a difference. And this is what we want each of our young people to grow up with. So that leads me to mental health, because that's a big issue. Just a few days ago, a depressing piece of news on our rising suicide rates, especially among the young. Friends, a happy childhood lays the foundation for good mental health. But how many of us look at our children in school today and feel sorry for them? When you talk to our Pioneer and Merdeka generations, their childhood stories are of climbing trees, kicking footballs, shooting marbles, and catching spiders. So because they had happy childhoods, they had good memories and a strong belonging to Singapore. And they had the resilience and determination and enough hope to make Singapore what it is today. What are we doing to our children, our young people, our only resource? Why is it that for years we've capped the percentage of Singaporean students who could go to our universities at 25% of each cohort? This was known from our research in 2011, but confirmed after a WikiLeaks comment from MOE was revealed. Now, under pressure, we are slowly increasing that number. But the government's target for 2020 is only 40%. The corresponding average for the 34 OECD member nations is 62%, while in Australia, Iceland, and Portugal, more than 90% of high school graduates go to university. Many Singaporean students are turned away, yet the government woos and spends $130 million each year on scholarships for foreign students. Now, I spoke to a sleep specialist from NUH just this week, and he told me that even our preschool children in Singapore are sleep deprived, not to mention our teenagers, many of whom finish their homework around 2 a.m., only to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to school. Once, when a Michael Moore documentary on schools in Finland was shown to some students from one of our top schools, when they watched it, they cried. The first thing that was mentioned in this video, no homework. If you ask the teachers in Finland what they want for the children, they will answer you, they want the children to be happy. I can speak as a teacher. Happy teachers make for happy children. And what does our government do? On top of refusing to decrease class sizes despite a falling enrollment, they decide to charge teachers for parking in schools. So ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, does our government believe our people are our only resource? Actions speak louder than words. Yes. Let me end off by highlighting PSP's vision statement. A united Singapore, progressing with compassion. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to see a united Singapore progressing into the future together. Let us ensure we are not judged or divided by our race, our language, or our social or economic background. Let us protect the young and the weak in our society. This is the government's job, what we trusted them to do. Mr. Heng Swee Keat, our soon-to-be Prime Minister, says that the PAP has delivered on a better life for Singaporeans. He says Singaporeans will know who to place their trust in. In this, I agree with Mr. Heng. Singaporeans know, and it is time to gather the courage and stand together as one. Thank you.